What is it saying about your team that you're finding ways to win, even maybe if it's not your best, you find ways to get results?
Yeah, no, last night wasn't the best, obviously, but again, I thought we played well the first 25 minutes until that 5-minute major, and then we had a tough time after that. But again, the goalie played well. We didn't give up a lot of grade A scoring chances, so I thought we did the right thing. You know, we found a way to win the game.
But what do you think
that's important.
You know, the bigger picture about your team, that they still can get through and get the 2 points.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, we're up 3-0. We found a way to get 2 points, and it wasn't our best game, but it was still a good enough game to get 2 points. And you know, we scored some nice goals in the first period, and you know, the Kreider goal obviously was a beautiful play, and we were good enough to win.
I know Gaudreau obviously was just a maintenance thing. You said he was fine last night. It was just a cut. I was curious if there were stitches or anything.
Yeah, he got some. Yeah,
stitches.
I don't know how many or not, but there's.
I just wanted to
Yeah, he'll be fine tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the eye's going to close a little bit, but he's.
Yeah.
But it brings up the thing, I started thinking about this. You don't have an extra forward right now. McKeggy's in protocol and you can't call anybody up, so.
I don't know if we can't call any. We can call somebody up, I think.
Call
I mean, I don't know the rules, but I think so. Like I said, check with somebody else, but
Yeah.
as far as I know, we can.
I think he just wants to know if you had to play defenseman and forward, which one would it be?
I don't know.
11 and 7, or would you play Keandre up on left wing like you said?
No, we'll leave Keandre where we are. Tanner or Lee Ward can go up on the forward position, no problem, if it happens.
I asked Nemeth before, I was like, can you play left wing? He said, nope.
No, Nemo's staying back there.
When you guys were winning early in the season and you talked about still having areas you want to improve and talked about D-zone coverage and puck management, stuff like that, at this point, now that you feel like you're playing better, is there anything that's still on your mind that you really feel like the team needs to tighten up?
You want to get, I mean, that goes, you know, we talked about that earlier in the year, like you said, and it got better, got tightened up, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen tomorrow night. I mean, them same problems come back. It's 82 games over the year, and, you know, every team goes through those stretches. I mean, you go through a real good stretches and you're happy, and then, you fall back sometimes a little bit, and I thought last night we fell back a little bit after that PK, and again, I don't know what the reason was for. It was because we hadn't played in 5 days, and that's tough sometimes with your team, and other times, you know, you looked a little bit tired at times last night, but I don't think it was tired. I think it was a lack of playing games in the last week, and that really caught up to us a little bit. And then we get out to a good start, and maybe we thought the game was won, and it wasn't as, you know, and then it was hard to get it back. I mean, sometimes when you lose your game and in game, you know, at the second after second period, we couldn't find our game back again. And I thought the last 5 minutes of the third, when the game was, you know, up for grabs, I thought we found our game again.
So the points of emphasis are still pretty much the same. Like the things that you
Yeah.
were worried about earlier, those are still the things you're stressing with the team now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've done a lot better job with it, and it shows in our record, and it shows the way we played in the last 7-8 games for sure. So I'm happy with the overall game. You know, moving forward, I'm happy where we're at. I mean, our record's good, things are going well, we're playing well, but again, we talked about it the other day. Things can change in a second, so you got to make sure you're doing the right things and playing the right way. And last night wasn't perfect, but still, we played good enough to win, and you know, we were never really in danger of losing that game last night. That was the good part of it. We felt we didn't play our best in the second period, but we were really never in danger.
We were just joking with Phil Petal that at this point in his career, we should probably stop calling him on the kid line because of how many years he's been here, and he sort of agreed. I'm just curious if you feel any sense from him that he said he was wishing he had more goals, but I guess, do you feel like he feels like he should be leading the way on that line?
Well, I'm happy with all three of them, to be honest with you. They all want more goals. I mean, Laffy'd like to have more goals. Every one of them would like more goals. Panarin wants more goals, and that's a good thing for your team. I like the way they played. Last night, again, we took a little step back for whatever reason. It wasn't as good a game as we had in the Boston game and the games prior to that. But I'm happy with the way our team's playing right now. And Phil's a big part of that group for sure. We're happy with him. We like him. He's playing good, solid hockey, and that's, you know, sometimes when you don't have your best and you're still winning, that's a sign of a good team, and that's what we want to be.
When you do look at that line, do you look at him as more of the veteran presence on that line?
No, not at all. I think, you know what, I look at them and kid line's a good line for me.
Yeah.
I like kids bringing energy to your team. There's nothing more I like any better. I mean, I love seeing those guys out there being young players and playing the way they're playing, to mature and get more ice time, more confidence from me, but confidence in themselves, and that's what I like them. I like, they're going out there and smiling, having fun.
I know we've asked you about this second power play unit and the way you've distributed the time between the two. I guess, is it just because you feel like that first unit is more of a threat of why they get a bulk of it?
Well, I mean, you look at our first unit, and it's a talented unit, and it's creating scoring chances a lot more than it did earlier in the year. So it's the way it works. I mean, most teams, you look at it around the league, the Toronto power play unit and all those teams are real good power play units. Their first line gets a minute and 30 usually, and the other guys clean up the mess sometimes. And I was happy to see them score and get some confidence in it. And like I said, in certain situations, in certain games, will they get more time? Probably will. But again, it's hard to not throw your first unit over the boards in those tight hockey games when you're trying to win every night.
With Eagles specifically, over the last, 3-4 games, I think the Islander game and even in Boston, he's had some really good chances in close that the goalie makes an incredible save on. And I know you feel like, okay, if you keep working and keep getting chances, they're going to go in eventually. But does that hurt his confidence a little bit though? Like, you know anything? Like,
I hope not. I mean, I played the game a long time ago, and as long as you're getting chances, you feel you're going to score. So, I mean, Phil's getting the opportunities, playing good hockey, so I'm sure he's not going to come home and say, oh, I got to score tonight, or, I want to score for our team to win. That's the biggest thing, and, those guys are pushing, and they want to get the goals in the net, as many as they can get. But I sure hope not, because we're happy with the way he's played.
Can you talk about Kreider's knack in front to generate offense?
He's being around the net. That's the biggest thing with Kreider. I mean, he got great speed, and he gets those opportunities, and they're going in for him. And like you said, you just talked about Phil, and sometimes they don't go in. You keep with it, and they're going to go in the back of the net. And Kreider's getting his opportunities, and he's burying the puck. So what's he got? 16 goals now, and so he's continued to play the way he's playing, shooting the puck and power play, and he's an important player for us, obviously.
He puts a lot of work in. You can see him practice and tipping pucks, and it seems like he's being rewarded for it.
Well, when you do stuff like that in the summer, you work out and get in good shape, and you're playing with confidence. And like you said, he puts the work in. So, and a lot of our guys are working. We had a short practice today, but you see them out there doing their individual stuff, and it's nice to see that because it pays off in the long run for them.
all right, it's time for your favorite goalie question.
Can't wait.
You have 2 games coming up. You have 2 games coming up. The first 2 set of back-to-backs you went with Georgia first. The last one you started with Igor.
They're probably going to play each a game. I'm not going to tell you who's going tomorrow.
Right. But I mean, when you go in, like, is it always the guy who plays the first game, if things go well, could he play the second game, or are you dead set on their each?
He could, but there's a good chance it's not going to happen like that.
So who's going first?
I'm not telling you who's going first. If it was 5 o'clock tomorrow night, I'd tell you. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you in the mornings of the game or the day before a game.
Okay.
But like I said, the 5 o'clock ones, I'll give you those because I'm not going to do the other teams work. And sometimes they're going to have to work, find out which goalie's playing themselves. So that's why I tell you it's fine.
You've got a team coming in that you haven't seen in a while, Western Conference team. Is there a different approach as far as getting your team focused for that matchup as opposed to the Flyers, the Bruins?
Yeah, I mean, it's easier when you're playing your division teams, of course. You've seen those guys more. And so, I mean, we do a pre-scout, and the guys will pay a little bit more attention because they don't know those players as much. And even the coaching staff, we don't know their team as well. But you do your work, you do your pre-scout. It'll be the same for them. They haven't played us a lot, so you just prepare the same way. And like I said, I think you get a little bit more guys paying attention in the pre-scouts and making sure they're aware of what this team does and who their top players are. Because let's face it, the guys don't watch a whole lot of Western Conference games out there late at night. They're more worried about our own team, but it's our coach's job to to prepare them and hopefully to get them ready for a San Jose team and a Chicago team that they don't see a lot.